Page 216. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayanu Kola. तुलसी देखी जुराया प्राण माधव तुषार जाई
तुलसी देखी जुलाया प्राण माधव तुषार
माधव बहुत मेहनत
Page 144.
96 in yellow book.
माधव हे माधव माधव हे बहुत मिनती करित राधा माधव हे बहुत देहि तुलसी तिला देहा समर्पिनो देहि तुलसी तिला देहा समर्पिनो दया जानी न छड़ाविवो दया जानी न छड़ाविवो दया जानी न छड़ाविवो दया जानी न छड़ाविवो गणाईते दोषा गुणलेशना पावी गणाईते दोषा गुणलेशना पावी जब तू करो है विचार जब तू जब तू करोगी विचार जब तू करोगी विचार तू जगन्नाथ जगते कहोगी जगवाही नहीं मोई जगवाही नहीं मोई राधा माधव हे बहु कामिनाति हरिभो राधा माधव किए मनुष्य पशु पाखी जे जनामिए किए मनुष्य पशु पाखी जे जनामिए अथवा कीट पतंगे अथवा अथवा कीट पतंगे अथवा परम विपके गत गति पुनः पुनः मति रहू तू अपार संगे मति रहू तू अपार संगे माधव हे बहु कामिनाति हरिभो माधव हे
So welcome everybody to our home here in Walnut Creek. Bhakti Projects is welcoming you to another program in the Bay Area with Srimad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. We're very happy to have him visit us again, especially on this holy appearance day of Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj. So many devotees coming from New Braj, South Bay, and the Bay Area, San Francisco, where else? North Bay. So welcome everybody. We're going to have a program today consisting of some offerings because it's the Vyas Puja of Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj. So some of the disciples will make their Pushpanjali offerings, and some senior devotees will speak, and then we'll have offering, Pushpanjali offering. I have flowers for everybody they can offer, and then we'll have Sundarartik, then Prasadam. So it's now about 6:15. We'll go till the offerings are done, probably about an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll have about another half hour or so of Pushpanjali. Should we do during Pushpanjali just Guru Puja or just chanting?
Guru Puja.
Guru Puja. And then Arti.
Yeah.
Alright. Very good.
The night is young.
Yes. So, thank you for coming. So the disciples of Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Maharaj, who would like to speak?
We have you, Tithi, and Bharati.
Anybody else here? Disciple? Who had association? Anyone had association?
Or if anyone wants to contribute anything, most welcome.
I would love to contribute one thing.
Okay. Anyone else?
Maybe Pran, Krishna or Gopika.
Yeah, you can volunteer people, but they should decide if they want to speak or not. All right. So, I can begin with you then.
Start with you, Tithi, first. This mic.
Take the mic.
Should I just sit this way then?
Maybe not with your back.
Is it right here?
It's a tough one.
Stand if you like. That's okay.
Oh, you can sit over here and then face everybody. That might be better. Come here and sit. Face your Gurudev and face everybody.
No, move this thing. The instruments.
Om Jnanatirandasya Ananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. First, I'd like to offer my heartfelt obeisances to my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all my Guru Varga. I hope that I may be able to please them in some way today on the Vyasa Puja of my Guru Maharaj. Okay, I couldn't really think of what to say, so I'm going to just speak from my heart right now. I'd like to say that my Guru Maharaj, I was really unfortunate not to be able to meet him in person in the Dham. It was on Skype. And actually Siddhanti Maharaj had instructed me a few months before he left this world to quickly go to see him, to take Diksha, because I just took Harinam initiation from him. And he told me a story that some devotees wanted to wait for a particular time to go to India. And he advised them, no, you should go now because, you know, he's getting older. For who they were going to take initiation from. He told me this story. And actually, I didn't listen to his instruction, and the exact same thing happened to me. So unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to go there in person. However, I do want to say that he has, since I have taken shelter of his lotus feet, he has saved me in so many ways and revealed himself to me in in these ways that are so just magical, like miraculous ways. For example, when I went to India in 2019 for my Guru Maharaj's disappearance day, I was instructed to get some Jagannath Prasad in Puri for the program. So I got the prasadam and I took it to the program and I distributed it to all the devotees at the program. And then later I heard, and I don't remember which devotee told me, that my Guru Maharaj said that if there's no Jagannath Prasadam at the festival or program, then it's not really a festival. Do you remember Santi Maharaj, him saying something like this? So then that night later, I remember going on my Facebook, and the first picture that I saw was my Guru Maharaj with those woven baskets with Jagannath Prasad in it. And so it really just showed me, that he was the one who really wanted to distribute this Jagannath Prasad. And this morning, when I was packing to come here, my friend had gifted me a bag of things from India, and actually I didn't have time to open it up and see it, but this morning when I opened up the bag, there was actually some Jagannath Prasad that she had sent me. So that was another reminder, like, oh, my Guru Maharaj, he's doing all these things. So I would like to distribute the prasadam to the devotees here today in honor of my Gurudev. And so he's just does these little things like that really just makes me want to surrender more and more. And for instance, today we drove and we were going to take 2 bananas with us on the trip, and then we were having a discussion like, no, we can't bring the bananas, we're going to be late for the program if we bring them. So we decided to just eat them quickly before we left. Then we were leaving and we said, oh no, but the banana's in our stomach and we're leaving still, does it count? And I said, I always get flat tires with this car. I don't want to get another flat tire and be late for the program. So about 45 minutes before we got here on the freeway, my car tire thing showed up that the tire was losing air in the back. So it was going from 35 PSI to 32, 29, 28, 20. And I said, oh no, we can still make it in time. I think we have until 15 PSI to get there. So we made it in time for the program. And then I said, well, I want to go to the tire, put air in my tire, and then Ratikala said to go to the Chevron. So I went to go put air in my tire, and right when I got there, there was this lovely lady here. She's sitting in the back chair, and she said, oh, are you Hare Krishna? And she started saying, she was putting air in her tire, and she couldn't quite figure it out. We started talking about, her parents go to the Ramakrishna temple in Delhi, in Mumbai, that's right. And so she was really interested. She wanted to come to New Braj, and I said, actually, there's a program like right down the street, 30 seconds away. And she said, oh, I don't have a scarf or a chadar for my dress, and I happen to have an extra chadar in my car, which I never do. And so she put the chadar on, and she got here before me, and so now she's here, and I take that again as my Gurudev, just like, doing all these miraculous things and just really just leading my life. And so, more and more, I just want to be completely surrendered to my Gurudev and all of the amazing Vaishnavas that he's been bringing into my life ever since I took initiation from him. It's just been an abundance of sannyasis coming to my house and just so much association, and it's all the mercy of my Gurudev. I know that 100%. I feel so fortunate, and I'm so unqualified, and I just pray that you give me the blessing that I may be able to please my Gurudev and my Guru Varga every day more and more. And that's really it. That's all I have to say right
Om again.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य गणञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य कृपायितः यमर्य रक्षति वैष्णवानं कृपवलं माधव प्रेष्ठकामि श्री भक्तितं भारतीमश्रमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। I offer my humble obeisances to my beloved Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, on this Avirbhava Tithi Mahotsava. I offer my humble obeisances unto my Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Daita Mara Goswami Maharaj, who is so dear to my Guru Maharajas. And I offer my humble obeisances to our Rupanuga Guru Varga. And I offer my obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas here and Vaishnavis, headed by Srila Bhaktivedanta Sadanti Maharaj, Shri Radhakanta Prabhuji, who is hosting this beautiful program, Radhanath Prabhu, and to all you beloved devotees, Hare Krishna. I'm not so philosophically inclined, and forgive me for that. I will try to do my best to speak from my heart and to share with you very small experiences and realizations that I may have had. I'm very unqualified. By the mercy of Sadhu Sangha, I have found myself in Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj's Sangha. And through the association of devotees, like you and many others, I found myself yearning for what all of you had, which is a father to help guide us through this journey of life. And seeing your relationship, even though I never met Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj, seeing your guys' relationship, also same with A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, seeing my father and mother and all these Vaishnavas who aspired with such Guru Nishtha to serve the Guru Maharaj and serve the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with such love. Seeing that made me, by Guru's mercy, not by my own strength, have a little tinge of maybe some greed. And throughout my being placed in New Braj by Gurudev's mercy, I found myself relishing the Harikatha of the sadhus, hearing from the Vaishnavas, and only by their mercy did I find myself in India in 2016 and at the feet of my Guru Maharaj, who at that time I did not know was going to be my Guru Maharaj. I had no intention of committing my life. I was just wanting to go about my daily activities and enjoy and be merry and have fun. There was no intention, but somehow or other, the seed was planted by all you Vaishnavas, and I found myself there. And upon seeing my Guru's eyes, my heart melted, and he instantly had my attention, and instantly I could see, even though I have no qualification to see, I feel like I was given the qualification to understand this is no ordinary soul. I saw all these Vaishnavas who I respect so much, senior Prabhupada disciples, Siddhanti Maharaj, Kinkar Damodar Maharaj, so many people who are highly respected Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, at the feet of this personality. And I had only heard about him one other time from Pankaj Prabhu and Yamuna, who Yamuna, as you know, is initiated by my Guru Maharaj. They spoke about some minor glories, but when I was actually there, seeing him speak just Krishna Katha for 2 weeks at Gopinath Bhavan was just some of the sweetest memories I have, and very short did I have to relish that. As we all know, my Guru Maharaj soon left into Nityalila, but I just remember him, like Gopinath Gaudiya, Gopinath, excuse me, just always glancing over all the Vaishnavas, looking at them with long, very just grave eyes, just staring at everybody and just reading right through them. And even in his senior age, I remember Siddhanti Maharaj and Kinkar Damodar Maharaj carrying him to go see the deities on his way out after he so lovingly distributed prasadam to everyone. And seeing all the devotees, some crying, hearing this Harikatha. And just being able to have had that Mahaprasadam from Mahabhagavat's hands put into mine gives me some hope that maybe there's hope for me. And by his mercy and his strength, not to bring myself up, but to see the reality that without my Guru Maharaj, I would not be here today. I would not be sitting here with all of you. And so, his compassion knows no bounds. As we know, Guru Varga is a expansion, or is Karuna Shakti stemming from Sri Krishna, and he's so merciful. All our Guru Varga is so merciful. And my Guru Maharaj, the one thing that I've taken from reading some of his books and from hearing from his disciples and from hearing from senior Vaishnava is, he's to me the embodiment of Seva. He's Sevananda. Throughout his books, he's showing how he served these countless Vaishnavas, from all Srila, many of Bhaktisanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples, to all sorts of different Vaishnavas, and how lovingly he did it without question. He was tatatnik with these Vaishnavas, knowing what they wanted before they even asked. And seeing that makes me hope that one day I can serve like he did, because this is the example he's given. And I hope that one day that again I can, in my heart, meet my Gurudev, because as of now I am so fallen that I am not able to connect as much as I try. But by the mercy of his followers and by the Vaishnavas, I hope that through their memories and through their katha that I can, like Siddhanti Maharaj, I hope that I can openly and lovingly hear from you and hear from all the Vaishnavas here today about my Guru Maharaj. And yes, become one with my Guru Maharaj's mission, which is all of our mission, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Just I'll say one little memory that I had, and then I'll help the other Vaishnavas to speak. When I first came in 2016, like I said, I had no intention of taking initiation. But just like they say, Guru takes you by the sika and pulls you. So that's what happened. I was pulled, despite Kinkar Damodar Maharaj's attempts to foil this, but in a very lovingly way. But I took Harinam, and on the advice and guidance of some of my like Sajan Maharaj, Premananda Prabhuji, and Kishore Mohan and Sudevi, all very much encouraging me, please, you should take. We don't know how much longer he will be with us. And so I did, reluctantly dragging and clawing my way, trying to not go, but everything forced me in that direction. And I remember sitting there, me and my father went to get darshan of Maharaj, and I remember my Guru Maharaj, as soon as I opened the door, he stared at me for what felt like many hours. I don't know, it felt for a very long time, just reading me, and he already knew who I was and what I was doing there, and he just kind of said something in Hindi and looked over to Narottam Prabhu, and they just started laughing. I said, oh. Anyways, they were just very cunning, just cut me down. So I instantly just started to say whatever came to my mind. I was like, yes, Guru Maharaj, this is my father, and you know, we're here. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm here to get initiated from you, and you know, I grew up in, you know, Krishna consciousness, and was a Guru Kuli, and he just, again, he looked at Madhapriya Prabhu and just started laughing. He said something in Hindi, and it was just, it's just, I forget the saying, but when a fool speaks, he just lets everybody know. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to be quiet. And then he just gave me some Mahaprasad, and he said, yes, I will give you the initiation. So I was just like, instantly all this worry and everything just fell off my shoulders, and I just felt like I was accepted by my true father. And just happened to be convenient that my father was there. Like a bride gets handed off, he was like, there you go, this is your true father. But I just remember he had this like chuckle when he was laughing, and it was just so sweet. But anyway, so I felt like, oh yes, now this is done, I'm going to try my best to honor my Guru Maharaj's request, but all my other senior Vaishnavas kept telling me, oh no, you need to take Diksha, we don't know how long he's going to be here, let's take Diksha. So then they arranged somehow that I went there, I forget the Prabhu's name, that was taking down all the different Diksha disciples and where they were going to be initiated. And so he sent me in there. And I just remember being in there, and it's like Maharaj is about to start speaking, and then Kinkar Damodar Maharaj goes, Prabhu, you just got Harinam? He's like, you, out. And then I was like, oh, Hare Krishna, okay, no problem. Because I was already reluctant to do this anyways. And then he said, and then he talked to me after, he's like, no, you go 3 months, practice, then come back. I said, okay, yes, this is good. And then Kishore Mohan said, he said, no, you don't know when he's going, you know, he may not be with us for very much longer, you don't know when you're going to come back to India, please, you just must do it. So I went in again, and then Kinkar Damodar Maharaj this time grabbed me by my ear. I didn't even see him. All of a sudden I'm just like getting pulled out, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I was like, you know, this is Guru's mercy, this is a test. And then finally, Kishore Mohan and Sudevi, they gave me, they actually spoke with Kinkar Damodar Maharaj, and it was very sweet. Kinkar Damodar Maharaj just saying, he said, you are lucky, you have Vaishnavas on your side, Guru is blessing you, go. And at that time, they were giving initiations at Gopinath Bhavan, but by Gurudev's mercy, the next initiations were at Radhakund, at a devotee's house. And by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, I find myself sitting here, very unqualified, trying to touch on some minor glories, some very small glory, but his glories are unlimited, and all over Guru Varga's glories are unlimited. And so I beg at his feet, Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Maharaj, please allow me to continue to serve you and to continue to follow your mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, under the guidance of all your Vaishnavas. And please, everyone here present, please give me your mercy and allow me to continue to please my Guru Maharaj and to please all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
You said you want to say?
Yes.
You want to come up? Come.
I offer my humble and respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Harinam Gurudev Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, unto my beloved Diksha Gurudev Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj, and unto my Shiksha Gurus Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the reason why I wanted to come and And on the appearance day of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, I want to offer my Sastang Dandavat Pranams and just offer a couple words of deep, heartfelt appreciation. Every time I speak, I always love to quote the verse of Acharya Mam Vijnanayam. So Krishna says to Arjuna, Krishna says to Uddhav, know the Acharya to be myself. I appear in an infinity of forms to teach you and all others. And in my Diksha Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sri Haridev Goswami Maharaj says, he says, where we're going, Goloka Vrindavan, that's the land of gurus. So the more help we have in this realm for attaining bhakti, the safer we are. So Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, that is one in Tattva. And you can have many Shiksha Gurus. And I'm an oddball with 2 initiating spiritual masters, but I see no conflict. I see no separation, not different organizations. I see one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tree, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family, and these great souls that come from the spiritual world to help us. So my Shiksha Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj gave me one seva back in 2005 of making one Vaishnava calendar for the whole world and every year. So it's a great struggle for me because it doesn't come easily. I have to pray for all the content, and it's very sweet also. It's pretty much 90% agony. And at the end, when I see that Sri Guru's mercy allows it to come together, it's sweeter than anything. And so I never had heard of Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj until this is after Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj had left our earthly vision, and the first calendar that I wasn't able to directly offer to him, that next calendar, which was the 2012 tribute to Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. It was full of amazing pictures of him with amazing quotes as a means of, before the Samadhi was built, as a means of a place where we could, feel his presence right after he had left our vision. And so Anita Didi from Puri sent me pictures of Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj being the one who offered that calendar to Srila Gurudev on his, in the place where he departed this world. And he spoke some benedictions. He said, he was talking about our Guru Parampara, how they preserved this sacred information and we're so fortunate to even have access to the accuracy of these divine Tithis on which all the Lord appeared and the Vaishnavas have appeared and the days that they have disappeared, which are extremely potent benedictions are available to us by simply observing these holy days, and that we would even know when they are for our location. It's really divine mercy from our Guru Parampara. So he was acknowledging this, and he gave blessing for anyone that had anything to do with producing this calendar. And it gave me so much strength and so much hope and so much encouragement to keep going, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like anyone appreciates it, but we're not trying to please crowds of people. We're trying to serve our Guru Parampara, and so that was a reminder. And also I wanted to just acknowledge and appreciate how Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj so much honors all the Vaishnavas. Like, he's the opposite of sectarianism. He is like the Acharya of, oh hey Vaishnava Thakur. By his example of having served so many of the Mahabhagavat disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and he personally served my guru, all of my Guru Varga that I have had personal connection with. And so obviously he's one of my guardians. And so I feel his glories and his presence through the hearts of all the devotees who are so fortunate to have had his actual personal association. Shamarani Didi, she ran to him. So many advanced devotees, as soon as our Gurudev left our earthly vision, they ran to him. Just as Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj had instructed his disciples, run to the sadhu, Baba. Like as soon as he leaves this world, he was instructing his disciples, run to where you find pure devotees. And so many intelligent disciples of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj came straight to Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. These are not separate cults. This is our Guru Parampara. This is our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga. And we're so fortunate to come in contact with them. And I just wanted to say that on his Holy Appearance Day and to offer my Dandavat Pranams. Also, one day Radhanath Prabhu and I, we got word that we could go through this one digital channel. I can't remember what it was. It was really hard to deal with, but we got to, before going to work every day for some days, when Srila Bharati Maharaj was speaking from Gajendra Moksha in Srimad Bhagavatam every morning, and Sri Padmadava Priya Prabhu was translating, and so we got to actually hear the sound of his voice every day for quite a few days, and before we would go to work. So even not physical proximity, it's possible to gain so much through faith by connecting with any pure Vaishnava. So on this holy day, I offer my Dandavat Pranam to all of you Vaishnavas and all of my Guru Varga, and pray for your causeless mercy. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha.
Anything else?
Anyone else? Anyone wants to speak? Glorious. There you go.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripasamudcha Patitanam Bhagavatam Vaishnavim. First of all, I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual masters, Divine Grace Nitya Vishnu Pad, Astotas, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Vishnu Pad, Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, and Nitya Vishnu Pad, Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. All Vaishnavis present tonight here, headed by Bhaktivedanta Siddhartha Maharaj. So, shortly after the disappearance of our Gurudev, the buzz was out as to who is the hot sadhu sangha. Where can we go to hear Sridhari Katha, to ease our aching hearts, our separation mood? And Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj his glories were being talked about by devotees, so I heard this and I decided to go and visit with him during Kartik in Chandigarh. I went with Muni Maharaj. We took the bus up to Kurukshetra and up to his mat there and stayed for, 5, 6, 7 days. And heard his classes in the morning. He was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, also Shikshastika, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Bhajan Rahasya. I got to go on some morning walks with him, ask him some questions, and I have what's called in business they have a PE factor. PE is the ratio between like income and profit. I have like an FE factor with senior devotees. False ego calculation, looking for, is this person real? Is he really pure? How much false ego is there? And quite honestly, I couldn't find any false ego. All I found was an absolutely dedicated, pure Vaishnava, so knowledgeable, so humble, so much bhakti. And one verse I associate with Maharaj, Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarver Gunais Tatra Samaste Sura Naro Haro Abhaktasya Kuto Mahaguna Mano Ratena Shati Davato Bari. That person who engages in pure devotional service without material motivation, in whom that is happening, all the good qualities of the saintly persons, the demigods, they manifest those qualities in their body. And in one who has no bhakti, a non-devotee, however many good qualities, material qualities they may have, or mystic powers or whatever, actually, where are the good qualities? Because they're all temporary. And they're just on the platform of mano ratena asat. Just speculating about what is the goal of life, what should I do, how can I become happy, and it's all temporary. So there's really no good qualities in non-devotees. And I saw this in Maharaj, and today I wanted to think about his name, because it's very significant. Bhakti Vijnana Bharati. So we know Bhakti, devotion. Vijnana means the mature form of Gyan. Gyan being transcendental knowledge. Real Gyan means transcendental knowledge. It can also be theoretical knowledge. But Vijnana means that knowledge has matured to the point where that person realizes that knowledge on a very deep level. And they can impart it to others. Because by their activities, by their own practice of bhakti, and by the mercy of their Gurudev, they get deep realization. Therefore, Vijnana is really the end result of all Gyan. We want that Gyan which is absolutely realized on a very deep level. So that name was very appropriate for Maharaj, because I saw in him, although I didn't have much association with him, I saw in him a very deep kind of realization, because when he would speak, he would quote Shastra, he would speak directly, very potent. Whatever he said was extremely potent, and it went right to my heart. And he was feeding me prasad, and he was giving me some association. I did some service for him, gave him some Lakshmi for his programs, spent some time with him, and then I decided this person should be my Shiksha Guru. I wanted that. But it was difficult because he was very old. He was getting to a point where he was going to leave his body. So at the same time that I wanted it, I became afraid of it, because I had just experienced 2 of my Gurudevs leaving this planet and how painful it was. So I think I limited myself a little bit. But I was thinking of him when I left India and I came back to America. I was always thinking, yes, I should go back and spend more time with him, take instruction from him. So I accepted him as my Gurudev also in my heart, which is pretty rare. There's only a few people that I can say in this lifetime I've done that with. So he's very special to me, and I wish that I had had more association with him. But even a moment's association, I'm happy for that time we spent together. I also saw him in Gopinath Bhavan when he was giving lectures there. But by that time, the crowds were coming, and he was becoming, very, very popular. It was hard to get close to him, hard to speak to him. So that also made me a little discouraged. But in my heart and in my mind, I really appreciate him so much. And I pray that he can bestow his mercy on me and all the devotees, that we can develop such Guru Nishta, such Nishta and Bhakti that he had, so much service he did. And I just, I want to hear from Maharaj more about his life, because it's very fascinating. And this is our Krishna conscious life. We continue to take shiksha from senior Vaishnavas. Our Gurudev is always with us. He's in our heart. He's given us so many instructions. We've dedicated our life to him. We want to continue to serve him. But it's very, very sweet when we get the association of a Mahabhagavat, a very advanced Uttam Bhagavat devotee. Very, very sweet. So whenever that is there, I'm going to run there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to get that association. And that will not only benefit me, but then I will pass that on to others, whatever I got. So thank you, Hare Krishna. All glories to Bhakti, Vijnana, Bharati, Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौरसहस्रतरामितनिधि गौरं सर्वं ददे गौरेण प्रथितं रहस्य भजनं गौरं सर्वं ददे गौरस्ति कृपालुरात्रिनपर गौरस्य भृत्यस्य भवं गौर गौरमचरामि भगवान् गौर प्रभु रक्ष माम्। अनर्पितं चरिं चिरात् कारुण्यवतीं कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतजरसां स्वभक्ति श्रियम्। हरिपुरसुन्दरदुती कदम्ब सन्दीपितः सदा हृदयकन्द्रेषु स्फुरतु वै सचिनन्दनः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतवेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनविरह कातुराजुगाः पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। अहो भाग्यं नन्दगोव्रजाकुसं यन्मित्रपरमानन्दं पूर्णब्रह्म सनातनं। राधाचिन्तनिवेशिनं यस्य कान्तिविलोपितः श्रीकृष्ण चरणं वन्दे राधालिङ्गितं विग्रहम्। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। निखिल श्रुति मौलि रत्माला दूती नीरादित पाद पंकजान्तो अयि मुक्त कुलयुपस्मानं परितस्तं हरिनाम संशयामि। My humble obeisances to my Guru Maharaj, Nityalila Pravishnu Om Vishnu Parastotashar, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Similarly to my Shiksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishnu Om Vishnu Parastotashar, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanshila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila Pravishnu Om Vishnu Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, whose holy appearance day we are observing in this very wonderful special devotees house. My obeisances to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and all his prominent associates, Shri Srimad Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Layit Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Shri Krishna Keshav Prabhu, to Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, my humble obeisances to Sapashad Sachinandan Gaur Hari, Sapashad Shri Radha Madhav, to all assembled Vaishnav and Vaishnavis, my seniors, Pujapad Radhakant Prabhu, Radhanath Prabhu, and other wonderful devotees here assembled. Srila Bhakti Thakur said, Je dine grihe bhajan dekhi, grihe te golok bhai. In this song, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. He said, oh, that house where I see devotees, they're worshipping Shri Radha Madhav. That house is not different from Golok Vrindavan. Feeling my heart, felt gratitude not just by word, really from my heart, sincerely from my heart, to Ratikala Mataji and Radhakan Prabhu to host this wonderful Vyas Puja appearance day of one of my Shiksha Guru, Srimad Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj. I'm indebted for this. To all devotees who came here, hearing the glories of Srila Maharaj. This evening, we are very fortunate hearing from devotees from different prospects the glories of Srila Maharaj. I also want to contribute something in that yet small little oblations. I met Srila Maharaj when I got initiation from my Guru Maharaj. I didn't knew about him earlier, but when I got initiation from my Guru Maharaj in Jagannath Puri, I heard from my godbrothers that Srila Bharati Maharaj, he served Guru Maharaj and he served so many acharyas. Especially he served our Guru Maharaj in so many ways. Not only getting dictations, but also constructions and installations, and in all areas. And my Guru Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Raita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, very close godbrothers. My Guru Maharaj stayed with his godbrother Srila Bhakti Raita Madhav Goswami Maharaj in his center almost 40 years. So that made me and my godbrother Madhavya Prabhu inspired to go and visit this sadhu. So in Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, we asked some brahmacharis, where is Srila Bharati Maharaj? And they said, oh, that room. Its door always open and always welcoming anyone who come and hear Hari Katha. Embodiment of Hari Katha. So I'm not speaking in sequence, but from different angles. How the nature and the gravity of Srila Maharaj. One very important point after hearing Radhakant Prabhu and Limba Devi also. Srila Maharaj, as Devi very well said, non-sectarian. Srila Maharaj never used to ask whose disciple you are in his Hari Katha. Or if you are Narayan Maharaj disciple or Prabhupada disciple or whose disciple, no. Seeing anyone having tilak and kanti and anyone who is very inspired to hear Hari Katha, his heart, his door and his heart always welcome for any devotee from any Gaudiya Math. Because while staying with him, by hearing from him, the stories which he used to tell, very, very intimate association with his acharyas. The stories, he said, in those days, in our time, even though institutions were there and the walls were there, but it was not the system that this Gaudiya Math belongs to him and this Gaudiya Math belongs to him and this Gaudiya Math belongs to him. Suppose institution A has some mango trees and some other, pumpkin, creepers, etc. So Srila Maharaj used to say, we never have to ask the temple president, can we grab some pumpkin or mango from there? That was not the system to seek permission. You understand what I'm saying? We can just walk in and whatever we need for our center, we just take and start cooking and offering to deities. There was no the system of asking. Imagine, even though different institutions established by acharyas, but the doors and hearts were also open. There was no need to even ask permission. He said like that. So by hearing from him, especially the glories of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and the contributions of his prominent associates, really was so much attraction. And his Harikatha, non-stop Harikatha. We used to get tired making notes, falling asleep, but he was keep on speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking. As Prabhu said, his name Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Maharaj. And Vijnana is Jnanam Param Guhyame Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sarasam Tavanganam Cha. Just prior to, in second canto, Krishna speaking Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Jnanam Param Guhyame Yad Vijnana Samanvitam. Oh Brahma, I'm not only giving you Gyan, but I'm also giving you Vijnana. And the secret, the rahsya, 3. And the 4th, most important is how to achieve Gyan, Vijnana and the rahsya, the secret. That's the 4th verse of Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Anyone who is sincere and wants to help with the bhakti must approach a sadhu who can only give bhakti, and that bhakti which is sarvatra sarvada, which is always present and all times present. Etadeva jigyasya tattu jigyasam akunam anve vyatikarena yasyat sarvatra sarvada. Jigyasu. Like we have this shloka. Shabde paracha nishnatam. One who is jigyasu, inquisitive, should approach a sadhu who can give Gyan, Vijnana and the secret. Maharaj, Srila Maharaj services. He said, this is my realizations. So, Bhakti, Vijnana, Bharati. What is Bharati? Bharati has 2 meanings. So, Sanskrit, from the Sanskrit grammatical prospect, we can derive many meanings. Bharati is a very special name. Bharati means Saraswati, the goddess of learning. And the goddess of learning, Saraswati, who always sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Always. And even if there is any critic about Krishna or the pure devotees of Krishna, Saraswati Devi, she always try to flip and make those words in glorification to the devotees and Krishna. So this what I observed in Srila Maharaj. If any critics used to come, he used to take those critics in glorification of that person or that personality. Wow. So Saraswati, that's Bharati. Understand? Maharaj used to say, why we can't see positive? Because there's a human tendency, that's natural, default human tendency to always see negative. But Vaishnava tendency is above human tendency, who always see positive, even negative. A stop clock gives correct time twice a day. There's a phrase, right? Even a stop clock gives the correct time twice a day. There's something positive. The clock stops.
Okay, stop the clock.
Stop clock gives correct time twice a day. So I saw how Saraswati Devi, like Rupa Goswami, in the beginning of Bhakti Sami Sindhu, Hridiyasya prerna pravartitam varak rupopi tasya haripad kamlasya vande chaitanya devasya. Rupa Goswami Pad, beginning of Bhakti Sami Sindhu, feeling, showing so much humility, it's not me who's going to write this. Idi yasya prernaya. I got inspiration from my Ishta, my worshipper Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whereas I am Varak. Varak means most unintelligent fallen person. How can Saraswati tolerate this? She converted the word Varak. She changed the word Varak from the Sanskrit perspective. Varam Shreshtam, a person who can glorify in beautiful words the beautiful, the superior personality is called Varak. So this is the nature of Saraswati. So Srila Maharaj's name is Bharati, Saraswati. And other meaning of Bharati means Bha means if you read Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj explanation of Gayatri, Bhargo Devasya. Srila Maharaj explained Bha means Teja, effulgence. So Tej and effulgence, he said, means Paramatma, the super soul. But he said from Madhuri perspective, I take this word Bha, effulgence, Radharani. So how he wonderfully explained the Brahm Gayatri according to the glories from the perspective of Radharani. So Bha means Teja, effulgence, means Radharani, and Rat means one who is absorbed in that mood of Radharani. What is that mood of Radharani? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada is saying, our aim and object is to worship. The object is to serve the object of worship, but under the guidance of Ashya Vigraha. Serving Vishya Vigraha, but not direct Vishya Vigraha. Whereas Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they go even beyond that, saying that our object of worship is Ashya Vigraha. Understand?
Yes.
Radharani is our object of worship. And the relationship with Krishna is not direct, but Gopi Bharatu Padakamalayo Das Das Anudas. Because Krishna is beloved of my Radharani, and that's why there is my relation. This is so worshipping Vishya Vigraha under guidance of Ashya Vigraha. So one who is always absorbed in that Rat is Bharati Maharaj. So from where to start? Srila Maharaj, one pastime. Next door to Srila Maharaj was the room of Krishna Keshav Brahmachari, who was personal cook and personal servant of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So we heard from Srila Maharaj, he said, have you had darshan of Keshav Prabhu next door? I said, Maharaj, we don't even know who he is. He is personal servant of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. And he is very close to my Guru Maharaj. And throughout his life, he stayed with my Guru Maharaj, preaching for him. You must go and have his darshan. And then we had darshan of Krishna Keshav Brahmachari Prabhu. He used to read Chaitanya Charitamrita for us. What he had heard from Prabhupada, he used to speak. So, sometime with Srila Bharati Maharaj, sometime with him. But once upon a time, but when he's going to his final pastimes, sickness pastimes, he was getting, day by day he was getting sick. Now understand the gravity of what I'm going to say. Try to understand this. Srila Maharaj said, I have never learned in my life to speak any light words. We have never learned this, he said, because I always associated with high authorities, not any low association. Please forgive my words, my English is not good. But I have always associated with high authorities. That's why I've never learned in my life to speak anything which is very, light. Chit chat. Always full of potency. Because he said, what I'm speaking is only repeating the words of my holy masters, my beloved masters. It's nothing mine. So look at this gravity of this. I was sitting with Krishna Keshav Prabhu along with Madhav Prabhu. And he said, can any of you call Bharati Maharaj? So I went in his room next door, just 2 doors together. I said, Maharaj, Krishna Keshav Prabhu wants to see you. Immediately he stood up, immediately by hearing this. And he said, yes. Krishna Keshav Prabhu said, Maharaj, you are in sannyas order. There's the 4th ashram. I'm still a brahmachari. So you are superior than me in ashram. And you are Brahmin. And I'm not even Brahmin. I can leave my body any minute. Please, my desire, you serve my godmother, Srila Madhav Maharaj, so much in your life. I know your personality. Can you place your hands on my head and give me a blessing? You see? Srila Maharaj just thought for 2 seconds. And immediately he placed his hand on his head. Inappropriate, right? That's called gross vision and subtle vision. Even I got confused. Sri Bharati Maharaj, disciple. Krishna Keshav Prabhu was his Shiksha Guru, his godmother of his Guru Maharaj, and personal cook, personal servant of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. Imagine his status. But when Keshav Prabhu said, can you give me blessing and put your hand on my head? Within 2 seconds he did this. And after this, he paid obeisances to him. And he came in his room. So first giving blessing and then obeisances. And then he came in his room. And after we were like taking care of, we were serving Krishna Keshav Prabhu. So he went to sleep, and when we came to Srila Maharaj's room, we sat there and he saw our face.
Question.
And he said, did you understand the dealing what happened there? I said, Maharaj, better you explain. He said, I'm not foolish. He was asking for my blessing. He was asking for my blessing. How can I refuse the order? If I considered him as my Shiksha Guru, I can't refuse his order. Because I know I have to go consequence for this. I have to go hell for this. But I have learned from my holy masters. A sevaka is always ready to serve, and he don't worry for going to hell. Obeying the order of Guru, Diksha and Shiksha Guru is more important than one considering oneself whether I go to Swarga or Vaikuntha or I go to hell. He ordered me. I can't refuse his order. For serving him, I obeyed his order. For serving him. And then, 3 examples how Shri Govinda Prabhu, while serving Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Gambhira. So from a subtle perspective, from the realm of praying, there's a section, a domain of etiquette, and there is a section and domain of Bhav Rajya, means in the domain of love. Etiquette has no room there. The domain of prem is superior than the domain of etiquette. Shri Govind Prabhu used to serve Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, massaging him. We all know this last name. Not going detail to that. How Govind Prabhu, he stepped over Mahaprabhu. He crossed Mahaprabhu. This is something. We are not supposed to even cross any human being, what to speak of crossing Vaishnava. But Govind Prabhu, he crossed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his Ishta and his Bhagwan. For what reason? For serving him. And when Mahaprabhu asked him, Govinda, what about your prasad today? Why you are here? He said, how can I cross you? He said, the same way you cross and came inside. But Govind Prabhu said, I crossed you for serving you. And I know I have to go hell for this, I don't mind. I have to suffer for this, I don't mind. But I cannot cross you for my eating. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he made this comment. In that domain of service, a sevaka who actually believes that I am servant of my Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, he surpassed all other stages. And the prominent stage comes in the stage of praying, where nothing else is consideration. Only to please my Ishta is the only consideration. To obey him, Agya Guru Bhaiya Avicharniya is only consideration. Another example, how Sri Ramanujacharya, after receiving mantra from his Guru Maharaj and receiving instruction from his Guru Maharaj saying, never give this mantra to anyone. And Sri Ramanujacharya, immediately he went on one tower, some building, and he started calling upon people, come here, come here, come here. And he started giving mantras to everyone. When the news went to his Guru Maharaj, he became so upset. Call him. I think shall came. So when he was being called upon, he said, I told you not to give this mantra, you disobeyed me. And you know the consequence? He said, yes, I have to go hell for this. I knew this. But I want to know from you, Guru Maharaj, what happens to a person who chants this mantra? He said, this is divine mantra, and anyone who chants this mantra go to Vaikuntha. He said, by disobeying you, only I will go to hell, but by receiving these mantras, they will all go to Vaikuntha. And his Gurudev heart melted. Shilamar, this is disclaimer. We should not practice this. This is for the acharyas, because their absorption, rat, their absorption is following the footsteps of Radharani, because Radharani and the gopis, they are showing this ideal example. Where when no one was ready to give the food dust to Krishna's head, this pastime of Krishna having headache, who gave this?
Gopis.
The gopis. This is called Bharati. This is called absorption in that Rath, in that effulgence, means Radharani, the ideals of Radharani, the ideals of Ashya Vigraha. We are serving the Ishta. The object of worship is the only goal and only absorption. There is no other consideration then. Even if I have to go hell for this, I am ready. One small, looks like a very small pastime. Keshav Prabhu, his guru, his Shiksha Guru, asking him to bless him, and he immediately did this. If anyone asks me, I will not do this. I don't want to go hell. There is a reservation. But in that domain, they break all reservations because their absorption is very high. And that's what Srila Maharaj always used to tell us. Privately or publicly, we have never learned any gross dealings or something light dealings. Because I never associate with any who is laghu. Laghu means light. I associate with gurus. Guru means heavy. So the movements of Srila Maharaj, his readings, the way he chants, the way he walks. Once upon a time in my Faridabad temple, it was that simple. He came out from his room. Tulsi Maharani was there, right in front of the altar. So he was having some problem in his legs. So with his stick he was walking. And instead of going shortcut to greet the deities, he took the long cut. I asked Maharaj, you could have gone from there. He said, no. I can't keep Tulsi on my left side. I can't. I have to keep Tulsi Maharani on my right side. Because any Shreshta, any superior person, we cannot put that person on left. So many details in his chanting of mantras, how he's was doing chanting and his mantras and his worshipping, paying obeisances, and how subtle vision of seeing the deities. And why it is like this, why it is like that. He said, because I learned this from my holy masters. In regard to service, Maharaj has very deep insight. We say, he's Sevaka, he's Sevaka, he's Sevaka. Srila Maharaj said, no. We can't term each and every one as Sevaka. Because in a group of devotees, even though everyone is devotee, no doubt, but there are some who are categorized as volunteers, and there are few who only categorized as Sevaka. Even though they both are serving, but there is details. Voluntary service and Sevaka service is two different sections. Volunteer means if I feel good, I will do. If I don't feel good, I won't do. That's volunteer, that's not Sevaka. Sevaka is no consideration. I feel good or I feel bad. If I'm in a mood or if I'm not in a mood. Sevaka means who take responsibility of seva. And volunteer means who is not responsible. Volunteer means who is not responsible and he just show up, and whenever he wants to do, he wants to do. Whenever he don't want, he don't want. And volunteer means, again, another point of volunteer means, if I see some problems, some obstructions, some disagreements in my service with someone, I won't do. Maharaj said, Sevaka cannot avoid, because that's his responsibility. He has to do, no matter if he get critics, if he get glorification, praise or whatever. Sevaka means he's responsible for that seva. He said, we are here to become sevakas, not volunteers. In the mission of Mahaprabhu, he said, my all holy masters, they were sevakas. They were not volunteers. They took this mission in line with the mission of Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who gone through so many struggles and oppositions, but sevaka, not volunteer. Maharaj said, I never volunteer any service. I did this as a sevaka. As a sevaka. And on the top of that, once upon a time, so please don't take it otherwise a show off, me or Madhavya Prabhu, but because we have to understand the dealings through past times, only because sake of that I'm just saying this. When Srila Maharaj had many disciples in Jagannath Puri Dham, on the day of Gundicha, cleaning of Gundicha temple, disciples of Maharaj asked, what is permission? Maharaj, Gurudev, can we go to Gundicha temple cleaning? He said, of course, everyone has to go. So they all left paying obeisances to him. Mahavira Prabhu came and paid obeisances to him. And Maharaj said, you're not going to Gundicha temple? He said, no. Why? Then he said, who's going to look after you then? So whenever Maharaj hearing someone reply or question, he always used to shake his head and look in the opposite direction. Because then he goes gravity to that words and relate to something. And after a few minutes then he replied, this is called idle sevak. And and we all, some who knows about Madhaprabhu, he never take any praise. He always throw that. Means he neglect that. He said, I am worst sevak. I won't believe your words. He was very friendly with Gurudev and Srila Bharati Maharaj. He said, I don't believe your word. I am worst sevak. He used to speak like this, very friendly with Maharaj, friendly serving him. Srila Maharaj said, listen, all these devotees, brahmacharis, they have not offended me. They asked my permission to go there, and I happily said go. But none of them thought, we all going, and who's going to look after Gurudev if he's alone, if he needs something? None of them thought this. They're thinking serving Gundicha temple, which is also important. I'm not saying that. Very important. But none of them thought we could have taken turn to stay with Gurudev also for service. But you're not going and you're staying back just to serve me, to look after me. This is, he said, this was my nature to serve my Guru Maharaj. That's called Sevak. Bhakti Thakur says, Tomar sevai dukh hai jata seito parama sukha. What is the meaning? Oh Krishna, any problems comes to me in your service is a source of my happiness, because you are the object of my love. I embrace those troubles. Not that I neglect or walk back. No. That's only my source of my happiness. Srila Maharaj said, in the life of Sevaka, there's always so many trouble comes. Obstruction, obstacles. But one should not feel disheartened, and one should proceed in a service to one's Ishta. And it should be unconditional to one's Ishta. He always used to say word Ishta. Understand, Ishta means worshipable. He said, I adopt this idol from my Guru Maharaj. When Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj was being asked, who is your worshipable? He used to say Vishnu and Vaishnavas, means Krishna and Vaishnavas. And he said, if I have a choice to choose one amongst them, I will choose Vaishnavas. It's not that light, and there is a reason behind this. I'll come to that point. We'll choose Vaishnavas. So, it should be unconditional, not with conditions. If there is condition, then it's volunteer. And there is no condition, unconditional, then it's sevaka. He gave one example. He said, when I was serving in my, under guidance of my Guru Maharaj in one of the center, so because I was senior, he said, and I have many godbrothers, so any complaints, anything, they used to come to me to express to Guru Maharaj. So what was happening? In Bengal setup, evening time everyone eats chapatis. So brahmacharis were upset with the temple president because he was not supplying chapatis to them. So they all approached Srila Bharati Maharaj. Maharaj, can you complain to Guru Maharaj? Because we heard Guru Maharaj directly instructed temple president to take care of us. And you see, we are requesting him, he's not supplying us chapatis. Srila Maharaj said, if you all want to go and approach Guru Maharaj, you can go, but I can't. He said, because they said, why not you? Because you're also not getting chapatis. So same thing, as we are suffering, you're also suffering. Srila Maharaj said, let me suffer, what is your problem? Because when I joined my Guru Maharaj, there was not any contract signed by me. That if you give me chapati, then I will stay in the center. And if you don't supply chapati, then I will quit. There was not any condition, there was not any contract. I came to Him, in whatever way He will keep me, I will remain with this. If He will give me facility, even then I will serve Him. Even if He don't give me facility, I will keep on serving Him. Because I dedicated my life, I surrendered my life to Him. This is called Sevak. Where there is no condition, it's unconditional. We are looking for unconditional love. This idol is Braj Gopis. But it's just small little services to any Vaishnava or any Gurudev. I am implying on myself. We always see any comfort zone or some praise zone, adoration zone. So that means there is a contract. And that means there is some condition we always apply. And that's why this seva mood is not enhancing it. And that's why there is no realizations. Because there's always conditions and conditions and conditions. But our line is unconditional prem, nirupadik prem, unconditional love. This is called following the footsteps of Braj Gopis. And Mahaprabhu said this. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavita va jagdish kamai. Mama janmani janmaneshware bhagavad bhaktir ahetuki, not with condition. Ahetuki toi. Did Mahaprabhu, even though our Guru Vargas have said we have to go back to Godhead, but in that shloka did Mahaprabhu said, give me residence in Golok? Why he said, janmani janmani bhakti? This is called unconditional. I'm not asking for ending of my repeated cycle of birth and death, but I'm only asking for your unconditional love. And he went deep, saying the last verse, Ashlishya va padaratam pinashtu mam mama darshna hatava karotu va yatha tatha va vidhatu lam phato mat pranathas. It's called unconditional. What is it meaning, Prabhu?
And whether you tightly keep me close to you and tightly in embrace, or whether you neglect me,
Mat pranathas tueva.
you are always my worshipable
Always
Lord.
my worshipable, my beloved.
Unconditional.
Unconditional. This what Mara used to always focus on. See the gravity of this. And about association, some devotees were saying, Didi was saying, we didn't have his association. And as I also sometimes I lament, I never had association of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada and Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Whereas I hear a lot about them. Where was I? Why I didn't took birth? Or why I was so ignorant? But once upon a time, I was in Costa Rica. And Srila Maharaj, on the request of devotees, he started initiative. Before he was not. But this is again a point. His Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, asked him, Bharati Maharaj, what if I want to make you Acharya? And you start giving initiation? He asked him. Srila Bharati Maharaj immediately refused, saying that I could have obeyed your order, but I have something to say. And then all depends on you. Then Srila Maharaj said, to become Acharya, to become Guru, we need the heart and the mood like Prahlad Maharaj, seeing suffering of the people and for the deliverance. He said, I have not developed that. Honestly saying, I have not developed that sincerity, or I don't know the word, that I don't see the suffering of people and I want a deliverance. The day when I will feel this, then maybe I will think of. But right now, in this moment, I'm not seeing, I'm not feeling this, that people are suffering and I have to make them all delivered and happy. He said, when I said this, my Guru Maharaj smiled and he said, Uttam Sevak. Uttam Sevak. So, when I was in Costa Rica, Srila Maharaj started initiation. After Hari Katha, some new young boys and girls got ready for initiation. I put Maharaj on a big screen and they all got initiation on Skype video. Everyone in the room, along with our Gurudev's disciples and the new ones, they were all just weeping and weeping. It's nothing sentimental or fanatic or emotional here. But I was seeing everyone, why they're crying. After initiation, and I spoke to Srila Maharaj on screen, I said, Maharaj, me and Madhav Prabhu, we got initiation together, but he got so advanced than me. I feel jealous sometimes. He's always with you. And I think it's my sense enjoyment. I'm moving around the world to see the beauty of the world is my sense enjoyment. And I'm bereft of serving you and the mercy of you. Srila Maharaj, again, that same style. And a pause. And he said, you know the meaning of association? Association is not the close proximity. Association can be done far distance. As he's with me, you're also with me. I said, how? I don't believe this, Maharaj, because I'm not absorbed in you, honestly. He said, listen. And he gave 3 examples. It became very famous after he spoke this. He said the distance between, he said, lotus always associate with sun. Can you see the how distance between sun and the lotus? How many miles? Long distance. But lotus only associate with sun. When sunset, lotus close. When there is sunrise, lotus open. The distance is so far, but there is closeness of association. Other example is that peacock. Peacock only associate with clouds. He said, once upon a time I saw in one center they have peacock, and we wanted to see the dance of peacock. So I was feeding peacock some seeds, because everyone want to see his feathers. Peacock was not associating with us, even though we were feeding. But when peacock see clouds, dark rain clouds, spontaneously spread his feather and start dancing. And he said, see the distance of clouds and the peacock on the earth? See the distance? Peacock associated with clouds. That's association. And third example, moon and lily. Lily flower associate with moon only. He said distance is not matter, but the association matters. So it's good to have close proximity, but even if while staying with any acharya, any gurudev, it's not, cannot be. It's not close proximity. Some devotees say, oh, you serve Gurudev in his last days. You serve Srila Bharati Maharaj, Guru Maharaj. Is that close proximity? I say no. Believe me. Param Gurudev, Shri Bhakti Pragyan Krishna Goswami Maharaj, when he was glorified amongst his god brothers, saying, you serve Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada so much. And Param Gurudev said, yes, just like Ravan was not able to touch the Sita, was only able to touch the shadow Sita. When I came forward to serve my Guru Maharaj, seeing my conditioned state, he exhibit his Maya form and he hid his internal form. So I was not able to touch the idol of my Guru Maharaj. Even though form is transcendental and is precious to serve, but to touch and associate the idols is more important. It's more important. Yes, Achyuta Prabhu, we used to be with Gurudev so many times.
You're right.
In his room,
100%.
serving him. That doesn't mean, oh, people will say, oh, Achyuta Prabhu, oh Krishna Kripa Prabhu, you're always in Gurudev room and we have to like get appointment and struggle to get in. But just by staying in the room, is it guaranteed we have Guru Bhakti? Not at all. Not at all. That's not a consideration. There's a gross. We have to go more inside and subtle considerations. Subtle considerations. When there is subtle considerations, there is no quarrels. When they come to the gross level, there's always disagreements. As Srila Maharaj used to say, the fight is with something which is limited. Fight is not in spiritual world because that's unlimited. And he used to give example. He said in our mutt there was a feast, 100 brahmacharis, and we only had 50 rasgullas to feed. So my Guru Maharaj told me to break in 2 pieces and then you can serve. So if I'm showing some favor to some of my close one, if I give him instead of half, if I give 1, the others start pointing to me, what are you doing? Because there is a fight. Why there is fight? Because the resources is limited. But he said if you go to Ganga, as much water as you can grab, no one is going to disturb you or fight with you because the source is unlimited. If you have 500 rasgullas and only 50 people to eat, the resource is so much, then you feel like giving more and more and more. There is no fight, but instead everyone will say, give him 10 more, give him 5 more, give him 5 more. Mara used to say like that because it's unlimited. Unlimited. Bharati. He said, I learned this from Bhakti Raksha Siddha Goswami Maharaj. Because Maharaj used to say, Diksha means Divya Gyan Yado Dada, receiving transcendental knowledge. So is only Diksha Guru who gives Divya Gyan? Shiksha Guru, what is his role? He's not giving Divya Gyan. He's not giving mantra, but actually he gives mantra, Maharaj said. He gives mantra in the form of very important shiksha. It acts as a mantra. He said, I took that as a mantra. If we associate with our shiksha gurus, we just hear, we heard class today. But what is that takeaway in that class? Which can transform our conception and our understanding? Srila Maharaj said, it's not that I was only simply hearing Hari Katha from them. I used to take that every single Hari Katha as a mantra which helped me the knots in my heart. He said, because of my very high class Brahmin family, there were so many knots. He used to say openly. He said, don't hesitate to say. When I joined Gaudiya Math, I was thinking how I'm going to sit with these brahmacharis, because I'm from high class Brahmin family. And that was knots in my heart. But when I associate with my Guru Maharaj, and I associate with my Shiksha Gurudevs, immediately, slowly those knots were going out. They're cutting my knots. He said it took 13 years. He used to say, my Guru Maharaj served me 13 years. What is the gravity of this word? Is disciple who serve Guru or Guru serve disciples? The common understanding is disciples serve Guru, but no, Guru serve disciples. At home, parents serve children or children serve parents? Who is Guru? Spiritual father. Parents take care of children. But children also serving father. How? With their emotions. So Guru served disciple. Maharaj said, my Guru Maharaj served me 13 years. And then I became qualified to serve him. To took me 13 years to understand this. There were so many knots in my heart. Brahmin culture. Can't eat with other Brahmins. There was so many systems. There was so much. Means there was so much etiquettes and so many things to follow. The rituals, to follow. But it took so much time to understand the details of this. So, hearing, Maharaj said, I got this mantra from Bhakti Rakshashila Goswami, very close to Srila Bhakti Rakshashila Goswami. Maharaj used to visit him and getting dictations. He also used to, he said, I used to swim Ganga and go to Navdeep, from Mayapur to Navdeep, to get dictations from Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami. Swim over.
Swim the whole Ganga?
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
Why
He
not
must
take
have
a
been
boat?
very strong.
No, because sometimes when there is flood, there is no boats, he said he has to swim over. So, he said, I got this mantra from Bhakti Rakshashila Goswami Maharaj. When you hear bhajans or when you sing bhajans, don't give much emphasis on the melody, but more emphasis on the meaning of the bhajans. It's more important. Of course, if someone is a good singer, no doubt. But the one who cannot sing good, that doesn't mean he is not devotional. He said, I got this mantra from Bhakti Rakshashila Goswami Maharaj. And he also said, always become Ugrashava Sutta. Means associate with higher authorities. Higher association will make you high. Higher association. So while hearing, once upon a time in Faridabad, one brahmachari was singing Shirupa Manjari Pada Saimona Sampada. Maharaj came out from his room. He sat there. He heard, he relished that bhajan. Then he asked devotees, do you understand the meaning of this bhajan? And he started reading the translation. He said, this is what you understood? Just the translation? What is the essence of this bhajan? Who wrote this? Narottam Thakur. What is focusing on? And we were all quiet. We wanted to hear from him. So Narottam Thakur is telling us Gaudiya Siddhanta. And that is serving the object of worship under the guidance of Ashya Vigraha. Narottam Thakur is saying, who is my object of worship? Krishna. Shirupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mora Bhajana Pujana. Oh, he is the object of my worship. He is my worshipable. And Maharaj then specifically he pointed out that verse, that line. Sei vrata, sei tapa, sei vrata, sei mora mantra japa. What is this? Sei vrata. We fast for Krishna. We don't fast for Ashya Vigraha, right? Sei vrata, sei tapa. Performing austerities for Krishna. And mantra japa. We chant mantra for Krishna. Narottam Thakur saying, no. Shirupa Manjari is my everything. Anukole habe vidhi sei pade haive siddhi. Oh, when the providence will be favorable to me, and I only want perfection, where? Not at the lotus feet of Krishna, I want perfection at the lotus feet of Shirupa Manjari. Srila Maharaj said, this is our goal. To achieve the lotus feet of Shirupa Manjari. And he gave so many quotations that time, and I have not written those. That how all our acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is not mentioning his Guru Maharaj name at the end of every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is mentioning about Shiksha Guru. Rup Raghunath Pade Jaharaj, Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadas. Where is Guru Maharaj? His Diksha Guru. And Shri Narottam Thakur, Kabe Lokanath Sange Loya Jave, शिरूपे पाद पद में मोर समर्पित है. Srinathan Thakur is saying, when my Guru Maharaj Sri Loknath Goswami will take my hands in hands and offer me the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Someone can say, oh, you are overlapping your Guru Maharaj. Is Loknath Goswami less? Srinathan Thakur is expressing this. कबे लोकनाथ संगे लोया जावे शिरूप पाद पद में मोर समर्पित. So every activity, every word of Srila Maharaj backed with philosophy, not just light, gravity. And 10 more minutes, 5 minutes, with the permission of host. And as Prabhuji was saying, so much Siddhantik, so much Siddhanta. Once upon a time, he gave a lecture, and we were all amazed to hear this. As I was saying earlier, the riyad of prem is more important than anything else. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Maharaj used to smile and say, why Mahaprabhu descend here? What is the purpose of Mahaprabhu? Nam Sankirtan. He was fond of Nam Sankirtan. He took birth by hearing Nam Sankirtan. And what is spread everywhere? Nam Sankirtan. But Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu minimized Nam Sankirtan with something high. What is that? तीन कपाट प्रभु जाहे न बाहरे, कबू सिंह द्वार पड़े, कबू सिंधु तीरे. Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Shri Mahaprabhu used to come out from his Gambhira when devotees lock him. 3 doors, 4 doors locked. Mahaprabhu used to come out. And sometimes he found lying outside the lion gate of Jagannath temple and Kabu Sindhu Tire. And sometimes he jumped in the ocean, thinking ocean is Jamuna. Chidananda Bhano, Sadananda Suno, Par Prem Patri, Dravam Brahmagatri, Mahaprabhu seeing ocean and thinking this is Jamuna and start glorifying Stuti of Jamuna Maharani and jump into Jamuna, in the ocean. And whole night Mahaprabhu is lying in the ocean. His golden complexion turns to white complexion, all night soaked in water. And in the morning, devotees, Sarup Damodar Goswami, all devotees, Mahaprabhu is not here, Mahaprabhu is not here. They all going in all directions to search Mahaprabhu. And Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami at Banki Mohana, where we have our body award, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev body award, he found Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In all that details I'm not going. The fisherman, Sarup Damodar Goswami slapped him. Yeah, he started chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Don't go there, don't go there. There's a ghost in the net. And Sarup Damodar Goswami understood what ghost he referred to because he's chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And he gave a slap to him. Anyway, the important point is, not going into details of the story. Important point is when Sarup Damodar Goswami he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started chanting with the help of the devotee Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu's favorite Sankirtan. Enechi aushadhi maya nashe varalagi Hari nama maha mantra lahato mimagi. Mahaprabhu brought this Maha mantra, right? And Sarup Damodar Goswami chanting his favorite Sankirtan in his ears. Mahaprabhu woke up. Where am I? Where am I? What are you doing here? And Mahaprabhu said, why you disturbed me with kolahal? The words, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, the word used kolahal. Kolahal means a great disturbance. Suppose we are having program and any devotee walk in and start calling someone, so that's kolahal, disturbing. Mahaprabhu said Sankirtan, Nam Sankirtan is disturbance. Huh? You came to give Nam Sankirtan, and now you're saying this is disturbance. Srila Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj said, yes. That realm where Mahaprabhu was absorbed in, and that what he was absorbed in comparison with that, he said, Nam Sankirtan is disturbance. Because you brought me back from that state. I was in Kusum Sarovar. I was seeing Radha Krishna pastimes. You brought me back from there with this kolahal, with this disturbance. Nam Sankirtan also become disturbance for Mahaprabhu. And another example he gave is Advaitacharya Prabhu. In the time of Rath Yatra, Advaitacharya Prabhu going around doing parikrama of Jagannath, and Mahaprabhu used to make fun of him saying, oh, you got defeated, you defeated, you defeated. How can you go around Krishna when we are adoring the beauty of Krishna? The two eyes are too small and also eyelashes, and the mood of the gopis saying this. Ashlishleva Padaratanam. Govinda Virahinami. Yugaitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravashitam. Shunyati Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahinami. Advaita, how can you go around? So is Advaita Mahaprabhu, Srila Maharaj said, what Advaita Acharya Prabhu was doing wrong? Doing parikrama of Jagannath? But no. In comparison with something high, that was minimized. This is how many details of Hari Katha, many details of Hari Katha, the mood of Mahaprabhu, even Radha Krishna, Srila Maharaj used to bring out with so much gravity. But again we got bereft of high association. When Srila Maharaj was present on the planet, we got that hope, was getting so much inspiration. How we have to serve our Guru Maharaj, our Guru Devs, how we have to serve the mission, and how we have to take a responsibility to serve the mission, not without responsibility, not as volunteer, but as sevaka. So, when a divine personality present, and we get association, everything goes very good. But after that it becomes a challenge and struggle, even to chant, even to remember, and even to get absorbed. But constantly remembering and hearing about Acharyas, it gives us a life, because life comes from life. Only a life can give life. Pran ache jahar se hitu prachar. Only life can give life. Srila Maharaj was giving life and is giving life if we are ready to celebrate life. So if we read this book, My Beloved Masters, where he gave account of so many details, it really, I heard from feedback from many devotees. When they read this, it gives so much encouragement. So much encouragement. On this Shayan Ekadashi, most auspicious, the first day of Chaturmasya, Maharaj appearance day, and he departed from this planet on the disappearance day of Sri Haridas Thakur. And that's also one wonderful point. 2 minutes, please. We have to respect the time. When Maharaj was doing his final pastimes in Faridabad, in one hospital, just cut short story. He didn't want it to be in ICU. He wanted to go back to Bhakti. So he called upon Maharaj Prabhu and he said, I don't want to leave my body. I'm seeing Yamdutas here. All these doctors and ward boys, Yamdutas. He said, I want to leave my body with Vishnu Dutas. So please take me to center. I don't want to be here. But Mahaprabhu said, in this intensive care unit, you get all facilities. How we can going to serve you and take you in center? It's difficult. He said, choice is yours because I'm helpless. You see what pleased to you, or you have to see what pleased to me. He said, I'm helpless. I cannot take any choice. You are taking care of me. He said, because your choice. But you have to see what pleased to me or what pleasing to you. That was a big dilemma, what to do in this state, in this emergency. Seeing that, we're getting a little confused how to reconcile this. Maharaj called upon, Acha, come. Tell doctor, we have no money. Yes. And also tell him, Acha, tell him we found another big hospital. This is too small. So please give me a discharge. I don't want to stay in this hospital. We found some other big hospital, and if you don't agree to this, and they said, then just say we have no money, then immediately will release us. So he said, you understand what I'm saying? And then he commented on this. I want to go to Mat with brahmacharis who want to leave body care. I'm not telling lies. He said, I never told lie in my life. So don't think I'm telling you lies to tell lies to doctor. Really, I have no money. Because Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada used to say, Prem dhan bina vyarth daridra jivan das kori vetan mor deha prem dhan. Mahaprabhu used to say. Without prem, what is the greatest wealth? Prem dhan, the wealth of prem. I have no prem. That's why I have no money. This is what he wanted to say. Not that cash, money. But he was referring to that prem dhan. I have no money. And we found a big hospital. This is too small one. He said, you know what is a big hospital? He said, my Param Gurudev, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada Thakur said, Gaudiya Math is hospital. These are small hospitals. But Gaudiya Math is a big hospital. Take me to the Math. His desire came true. Whatever he wanted to say, he wanted to go back to Math. Immediately after a few minutes, the doctor said, he said, actually there is no point keeping him here. The doctor said, his desire reflected on doctor. There is no point keeping him here because we can create a small ICU in his room. Why you all have to waste money in hospital? He said, I'm a doctor and I'm supposed to promote hospital to get bills. But seeing this holy saint, I don't want to waste your money because nothing we can do. We can create a small ICU in the mud in your center and my nurses can go and ward boy can go and take care of it. And that's on his advice. So we were surprised Maharaj's desire came true. It came from words of doctor. And then on the disappearance day of Srila Haridas Thakur, Maharaj also manifested his disappearance pastime. Gaur Premanand. Shri Srimad Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And all glories to his divine appearance day. His appearance day ki Jai. And all glories to disciples of Srila Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalparubhyascha kripa sindhubhyecha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Srila Maharaj ji ki Jai. So we're going to have Guru Puja now, followed by Thakurji Arati.
Thank you, brother. We're going to do Archie right here, so it's going to be right in the middle.
Put this side.
Yeah. Guru Charana Panama Bhagavad
Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Sri Rupanand Maharaj ki jai. Hari Ram Sankirtan ki jai. Lok Premanand.
Hari 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 Jaya Jaya Gaura Chale Bharati Kasho Jaya Jaya Gaura Chale Bharati Kasho Jane